Years into Russia's full-scale invasion, launched in February 2022, analysts say Vladimir Putin is ready to keep grinding forward, trading soldiers and resources for territory he links to the old Soviet sphere. Russia faces a high casualty rate and signs of fatigue among key partners, including China, North Korea, and India, which buys discounted Russian oil. President Donald Trump has sent senior envoys to work on a peace framework with both Moscow and Kyiv. Former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman notes that Putin has been willing to sit down with the Trump administration, but largely to head off tougher sanctions and to discourage Washington from sending new weapons to Ukraine. He points to October, when President Trump considered providing Tomahawk missiles, and then, after what the White House called a productive call with Putin, chose not to move ahead. Hoffman argues that Putin is unlikely to accept any deal that truly guarantees Ukraine's independence and territorial integrity. He reminds viewers that wars usually end when one side is exhausted or one side clearly wins, and that neither point has been reached in this conflict. For now, Russia has refused a ceasefire that Ukrainian officials say they were ready to accept, and has offered few concrete concessions. The Trump administration continues to push, sending a special envoy back to Moscow for further talks. But there is an open question in Washington about how long the president will keep this channel open if the Kremlin keeps talking without changing its position. The other concern raised today involves the Afghan national accused of ambushing 2 National Guard members near the White House. Officials say he once worked with U.S. agencies and passed security checks before resettling in America. Hoffman stresses that vetting is, in his words, ephemeral. A person may clear every review at one moment and still be radicalized years later. He says the key now is to determine whether this was an organized act of terrorism or a lone wolf attack, and to understand what, if anything, pushed this individual toward violence after arriving in the United States. Investigators are examining his background, his contacts, and his digital trail, as federal agencies review how they monitor former partners and recent arrivals connected to past conflicts.